Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all of my baggage droppers around the world, welcome to a Drop Your Baggage podcast update with my main man right here, David McFadden. Now, David was an outstanding guest. We had a wonderful time chopping it up over here, and he dropped the limiting belief that I'm not good enough. And man, I told him that he's gonna have a new swag, and it seems like that has happened for him. So please take it away, David. How you been feeling, bro?
Yeah, I mean, since the podcast, man, I have not had the thought of not being good enough has tried to come in, but I was able to cut it off, really quickly because of the experience, just going back to the whole process of dropping that type of baggage. I was able to relive it again and then rehearse some of the things that I encountered during that time.
Mm-hmm.
And man, what's crazy was I had just recently gone through this past Thursday and Friday, I went through an innovation like strategic planning session where, I was in a room with some really smart people who were making, way more money, more quote unquote educated. But I was able to hold my own because I knew that I was good enough. You know what I mean? It never even crossed my mind that I shouldn't have been in the room. I mean, and before I think I would have operated out of insecurity or inferiority. But when I got in that room, man, it was like, because I had realized that I'm good enough, I was able to come into the room knowing that I'm fine with not knowing everything. Matter of fact, I kind of prefer that, and I was asking questions and really just trying to pick everybody's brain. And it just was a place of humility, but also, a place of knowing that I was good enough.
Yeah.
And so the crazy part about it, Charles, was that after the whole event, I just was like, man, I'm just so crazy that I'm in this room. And I feel like I don't even feel like I don't belong. I mean, I don't feel like I don't have that thought of like feeling like I don't belong. So after the whole thing was done, one of the senior scientists was like, hey, we need to connect more. We need to really connect more because, you're a smart guy. And, we need to definitely make sure. And if you need anything, let me know. And these are like, these are senior fellows, and a fellow is like a subject matter expert in a given field, a super scientist or whatever. Again, I'm not that, but I was able to add value because I came into a room knowing that I'm good enough. You know what I mean? And that type of swag is you can't put a price on it. You know what I mean? You can't really you can't put a value to it. So it really helped me. And then I had recently gone through, and I don't know what other questions you got, Charles, but I wanted to share like another experience. So, I'm a praise and worship leader. So in that leadership role, especially on the spiritual side, you go through a lot of, attacks. And one of the attacks is, not feeling like you're good enough. You know what I mean? Like not feeling like you know all of the things musically to be able to add value to a group. And especially if you're leading, you got people under you who are, are looking to you for guidance and looking to you for direction and even the next note or next phrase that we're going to sing. So one rehearsal, I was just those attacks were coming like you ain't good enough, you don't, what are you doing here, you shouldn't be here, like you're not qualified. But in the midst of that, I remembered our exercise. So going through it, it was almost like you ever walk through like this is the way I envision in my mind, but like if you go through like a paper ball fight or something, like people just throwing paper balls at you. That's what I envision, and the paper balls, they don't hold any weight, so they're just bouncing off of me. You know what I mean? So as I was walking through the paper ball fight, I got gone through it, and I was feeling down a little bit, but then I remember, I'm good enough. And I specifically remember during that time, I remember like hearing it from the lineage of the McFaddens before me saying like, man, we're proud of you, good enough. You know what I mean? And so that just like, wait a minute. You know what I mean? I'm nah, this is nothing. So that passed. And so that's just another example of like, just pushing forward and really dropping all of that weight.
Yeah.
The other thing that's helpful is I'm remembering instances of it throughout the day. Like it's not like subconsciously I know it's gone, but I'm able to go back to it whenever I encounter those times of feeling like wherever it tries to rear its head, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to stop it right there and say, yeah, no, hold on, no. I'm good enough.
Mm-hmm.
I have the favor of the Lord. I have favor. I'm good enough. All those different things, and so that was really big. So, the other thing was, and I'm sorry, I'm keep going on.
No, keep going,
But,
bro. Keep going. I love it.
During the actual so after we did the podcast, the day after, I was still very emotional, like just thinking about like the whole thing, and just like, dang, like I didn't realize I struggled with that as much as I did, you know what I mean? And so that next day was like it really was a day of introspection, of just reflecting on how far I've come and even like the things in the past. And then so that day was like, it wasn't necessarily a down day, it was just like a day of like, man, let me gather myself together, because I was like a mess, you know what I mean? But then after that, it was like, all right, cool, now I get it. And then even after that, it was like, I had a couple of tests, but even in those tests, they were like paper ball fights, you know what I mean? It was like they're throwing stuff, but nothing was sticking, you know. So so all of that, man, it was definitely a cool experience. I was a bit skeptical at first, because I just you just don't, you never know. You can't trust everybody, right? But I realized that it is super helpful to drop the baggage. A lot of time we're weighed down by things that we don't even realize we're weighed down by, right? And it just gives you new swag. I mean, I give you another example, and this is since the podcast. So I'm in a group. I'm helping another ministry write an album, right? So it's a ministry around here. They're doing a phenomenal job, and the song's gonna be like crazy. But when you get into group, sometimes if you have like insecurities, you ever been in a group in group settings, and it's like everybody's energy is like super high, and like socially, you just like after a while you just get drained. You know what I mean? It's like, and then you're always like fighting to have a voice in the midst of the crowd, right? And a lot of it is because you have some insecurities, you have some baggage, and like, oh, nobody likes me, or I'm not good enough, or like I have doubt, I fear of anger, all that stuff. But in this instance, I realized like, no, I'm good enough. And it's not like the group there is like super loving and super like, wanting me to add value to the conversations. But in my mind previously, I was like, no, I don't really fit in here. I fit in. But this time I went and I just was like, you know what? I don't care if anybody doesn't like what I say, you know what I mean? Or doesn't like my thoughts or ideas, you know what I mean? Because I know that I'm good enough and I add value. And so it totally changed the environment for me, you know what I mean? Not necessarily for them, but like for me, it changed my perspective in my environment. But even with that though, it's kind of like you got to be careful, because you don't want it to get to where you're like your ego is like taking over, right? You know what I mean? It's good to have swag, but you got to have, you got to also have that humility. So man, just a bunch of different revelations that come from just dropping that one aspect of weight, you know what I mean? Just that one. So but yeah, it really blew my mind. Like this past Thursday and Friday, I just was in that room. First I was in the room, I was just like, man, thank God for being in the room. And then the second part was I didn't have any inkling of not feeling like I didn't belong, you know what I mean? Like it didn't even it didn't even cross my mind, which is weird because I was super relaxed. It was like, I'm just like, that's great, you know?
Yeah.
So, and what's crazy about it is that attitude attracts, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That like, yeah, you know, I mean, I'm good enough and that, you know, I'm valued and, you know, but that attracts more people, you know what I mean? It's weird how it works, you know, but it's just, it is what it is. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh, congratulations, dog.
Yeah.
Hey, so I got some questions I got some questions just based off of what you were talking about. So like,
sure.
You said that now if a thought comes to mind, you address it and then to kind of like get rid of it because of you going back through what happened in the process that we did together. How long does it take for you to like catch a hold of it and address it and get rid of it?
Seconds.
Like, seconds.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, it's not long. It's not long at all. It's like it's seconds because what I was thinking, I was like, because I'm like analytical, like I want to like, so I'm thinking about like, okay, subconsciously what happened, you know what I mean, like, and I'm reliving the words that you were singing. I was like, so what was he saying, and then what subconsciously what happened, and it was like, it's almost like subconsciously I felt like the seed was planted to like, you know, have the tool sets to address that right then and there, right? And then the other thing is building a muscle of like, you know, the subconscious helps with the muscle building because it's like it shortens the learning distance, right? Because like if you did it by yourself, it might take like 5 or 6 years, but doing that subconsciously is like, you know, it helps you to like strengthen that muscle of being able to like say, hey, you know, like, nah, that's not me.
Yeah,
you know? That's not me.
Yeah.
So that's it. Yeah, it only takes like for me it's like a couple of seconds. So
what you went through was also so deep and visceral. Like you went, it's on a lineage point of view to where you're saying like you're good enough from everybody in your past is like telling you that they're proud of you. You know what I mean? Like, so that is making so like that muscle is super strong now. Like it was strong before because of like what you have gone through, you know what I mean, and your trauma. But like now with everyone else like having your back, you know what I mean? That right there just gives you like that superpower, yo.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh. Next, on that second day, it seems as though you were kind of like calibrating to how your new mindset was. It's kind of like a detox. You know how like maybe on a second, like a first or second day, you don't feel too good. Like sometimes on the detox, it's like you're detoxing. Now your mind's like, what was that? Like, what are we doing now?
Yeah.
You're like, hey,
I'm going through it like withdrawals from the old self almost. Yeah.
Yes. That's exactly what it sounds like. It's like a state of shock to the subconscious. Like, like what the hell was that? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This is where we're thinking of now. Okay. All right.
Right.
And I don't want to be disrespectful, so let me not giving a crap about other people's thoughts is the best feeling ever, dog.
Yeah, it really is it's freeing. I mean, and obviously you don't do it disrespectfully.
No.
But you know, if you've gone through so many years of just being so concerned about what people think, it is freeing to say, you know, I have an idea or I add value and I'm not going to allow anybody to make me feel like I don't add value because I'm not going down the path of not feeling like I'm not good enough. You know what I mean? It's just, again, it's like, it's just the seed of that, but it's also ripple effects of it. Like, you know, all right, so if that path, that negative thinking leads to that way, I know the doors to close in order to not go down that path. So if it's like, oh man, your ideas don't matter. Like, well, no, wait a minute. Before I would probably let it slide, but now it's like, all right, we're gonna address that in a loving way, right? Because I understand the negative ramifications of me feeling that way. So let's talk about it, and we both may feel uncomfortable, but we're not going to go down that path. You know what I mean? It's
I know that's right.
Because I went through I time traveled. You know, we did the whole time traveling thing, and it was like I went to my past, and everybody, you know, I went to my past and my present, and we all are in agreement saying that, like, you know, you matter, bro. So we're gonna have to straighten some things out. You know what I mean?
I know. You addressed it like it was somebody to talk disrespect. Be like, hold up now.
Yeah, we have to get a little straightening. Get some straightening. But it's all love. I mean, and it's setting the environment for other people to know that, like, you know, your existence matters and your ideas matter, and, like, you know, you are enough. You're good enough, you know. And so, yeah.
Yo, wow, bro! Congratulations. Could you ever imagine feeling like this?
You know, I don't know, because it feels like liberating, but I think it's honestly secondary to when I gave my life to Christ. So, like, when I had that like rebirth, that change.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of like it's bringing me back closer to that, like dang, like, you know, I'm brand new. You know what I mean? Like, like brand new. So it's like, yeah, and things are like doors are opening. Like, you know, favor is happening, and it's just I feel like I can affect more of my space, you know, for the good. Now that I know that, like, you know, like I'm good enough. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Wow, bruh. Just congratulations, man. Congratulations, dog. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you for showing up for your divine appointment. I mean, I slid into your DMs and you totally answered that call. You manifested this right here. And bruh, I couldn't be more proud of you. Never, dog. Good job. You are officially a baggage dropper.
Hey, EYB. EYB alumni.
Exactly. Hey, so thank you again. That's all, bruh. I'm elated, man. I can't wait to speak to you more afterwards. So I'm gonna talk to the audience. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate your attention and support, and I love each and every one of you guys that tune in. And until next time, this is the Drop Your Baggage podcast, where we talk to people that are dope, that can give you hope and show you a technique to help you cope. Take care of yourself out there and take care of one another. Peace.
Peace.